Alright, what's up guys? New deck profile. Today we're doing Dark Magician. Not a lot of new support for Dark Magician. Also, skill drain is now at 3, which helps the deck immensely. But let's get started. We are playing 3 copies of Dark Magician. You can easily cut this down to 2 if you want to. I've seen builds with 2, I've seen builds with 3. Either way, it's perfectly fine. I like having the third one just in case one gets banished or something like that. But you can definitely cut one. It's not crucial that you play 3. 1 copy of Red Eyes for the Dragoon. The easiest way to get Dark Magician in the graveyard is through Predaplant Verde Anaconda. That didn't get hit, so we can definitely use that. That's why I play the Red Eyes. And then we play 1 copy of Dark Magician Girl. I used to never play Dark Magician Girl, but now I play Dark Magician Girl. She is very, very good with the field spell. Essentially, every single time you use Eternal Soul, you get a +2 because you summon Dark Magician, then you summon the Dark Magician Girl for free. He kind of just drags her out. It's really good. And yeah, she's just a free resource. Plus, you get an extra draw for Soul Servant. I play 1 copy of Timaeus. I'm more just testing him. He's actually pretty good. He's one of the new support cards. Basically, what he allows you to do is send a spell or trap card that lists Dark Magician in its text or a spellcaster monster to the graveyard, and then you can special summon him, and it lets you fusion summon with cards you control. So actually a pretty good card, easy to fusion summon. You can use him to make Dragoon. He is a dragon, and because he lists Dark Magician in his text, you can actually search him fairly easily off of the new monsters like Illusion of Chaos. We play 1 copy of Apprentice Illusion Magician. This card used to be a 3 of, like, guaranteed, but now it's more of a 1 of because you could just use it for her effect to boost attack if you need to get over something that's really strong. We have 1 of 3 of our really good combo starters, which is Magician's Rod. This card is another card that is really good because it's a +1 on summon. It lets you search all of the spell and trap cards, and then it's recurable, which is also very good. 3 copies of Magician's Souls. Another very important card. Basically, this card is just one of the better cards in the entire deck. It's a free summon, or a free summon of a Dark Magician or a Dark Magician Girl, and on top of that, if it's on the field, you can send spell and trap cards from your hand or on the field to the graveyard and then draw cards. So that's very good for that purpose. Then we play, this is one of the new monsters, we play 3 copies of Illusion of Chaos. Illusion of Chaos is great. Yeah, this card is really good. What it basically allows you to do is you activate it and you reveal it, show it to your opponent, and then you can get a monster, Dark Magician monster, a card that lists monster lists Dark Magician in its text, and add it to your hand, and then put any card in your hand back into your deck. It doesn't even have to be itself, but you can actually put itself if you want to. But it's really good because you can put a bricks back if you want. You can put Dark Magician back, Red Eyes, Dark Magician Girl. Like, it lets you put bricks. If you have a brick in your hand, it basically lets you unbrick your hand. Also, it's a Chaos monster, so you can go into the new Chaos Fusion. Then we also play 3 copies of Pre-Preparation of Rites, which allows us to search this new monster. This new monster is one of the most important cards in the deck, so you definitely want to see it as often as possible. Yeah, even seeing it in multiples, even though it's a hard once per turn, isn't the biggest deal. He's very good because you can just every single turn kind of rotate cards out of your hand. Now to continue here, we also play 3 copies of Magician's Circle because it lets you banish. You can cut some of these ratios down to play counter traps and hand traps and whatever you need. When I was testing, I cut this down to 2 at one point, cut this down to 1. I kind of went back and forth, but I like seeing it as often as possible because even though a lot of the different things are searchable, Rod only searches once, so you can only kind of like add 1 single spell. This is something that you always want. It's one of your main lines of interruption. Every time you summon a Dark Magician, you get to banish a card. It just works very well with the deck. It does suck to draw it in multiples, but generally speaking, this is one of the cards you really want on the field. We play 3 copies of Soul Servant. This card is easily one of the better cards in the deck. It lets you activate and put any Dark Magician card on the top of your deck, and then you can banish this out of the graveyard, and then for every different name of Dark Magician Girl or Dark Magician Palladium Oracle monster, you can draw 1 card. So because we play Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl, we end up drawing 2 cards as long as we just banish this out of the graveyard. The second effect is a hard once per turn. The first effect is not. We play 3 ritual spells. 3 fusion spells: Red Eyes Fusion, Magical Eyes Fusion, and Secrets of Dark Magic. Yeah, this one's searchable. These 2 are not. This can be sent off of Predaplant Verde Anaconda, and so can this one. They all have their uses. This one's obviously very good because you can just dump materials from the deck. Magical Eyes Fusion is good in the grinding. You just activate it, banish things out of the graveyard. And Secret Village of the Secrets of the Dark Magic is very good because you can search it. Next, we play one copy of the Field Spell. This is our last spell. One copy of the Field Spell just because the Field Spell is actually really good, but it's very searchable. This is usually what I go into when I have Rod because it's a +1. You activate Rod, search this, activate this, set Eternal Soul directly from the deck, and then every single time you summon Dark Magician, you get to bring a Dark Magician Girl out of the graveyard for free. So that is all of the monster cards. Next, we play 2 copies for the traps, 2 copies of Eternal Soul. Everybody knows what this does. It basically makes your Dark Magicians unaffected. You can continuously summon them. And also it searches Dark Magic attack, but we don't play it. 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, also another great card. One of the better hand traps. Definitely 3 copies of Skill Drain. This deck is just very good under Skill Drain because a lot of the monsters don't do anything with the exception of Rod and some of your fusion monsters. Most of the main deck monsters like Dark Magician really don't do anything on the field. Dark Magician is very good because you have Eternal Soul, you can keep summoning it back, summoning it back, and you have Skill Drain on the field, making all other rendering essentially every other monster totally useless. And on top of that, you have the Circle, which banishes every single time. So all their protection is gone. You just target banish, target banish, target banish. Yeah, it's really, really good. It helps. The Skill Drain is one of the craziest cards. It outs so many. As long as it's on the field first, it can out basically any monster because their effects are negated as soon as they hit the field. Then we play 3 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison. This is another really good card, especially against anything with the Predaplant and Anaconda route. So, for example, it's very good against. This card is any deck that plays Predaplant, Verde, Anaconda, this card is very good against. Because, for example, if they use Phoenix Enforcer, they activate Phoenix Enforcer, you can target the Dasher in the graveyard, banish that, and then banish the Phoenix Enforcer, and now both of those routes are gone, and they can't use Celestial. And also, it's very good against Dragoon. You just bait negate, and then you just banish the Dragoon. It's good. It's the variety of just random decks. Sometimes you could just use it to special summon a monster back from your opponent's graveyard for free and attack over them or link away. That card is really, really good. Now for the extra deck. So first we're going to start with the fusions here, and then we're going to go to the other cards. Alright, so for the fusions, we play 1 copy of Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Sometimes if you have a good hand going first, you can summon this, and then link it away for Predaplant, and you can use Eternal Soul to bring this back, and then it protects your back row, because it counts as Dark Magician in the graveyard and on the field, and it protects your back row. But yeah, sometimes when you have a really good hand, you can actually make this, and the Dragoon on top of it. 1 copy of Master of Chaos. He's a new card. Basically, as soon as he's summoned, he lets you summon a dark monster, light or dark monster from your graveyard. Also, you can banish. You contribute a light and dark monster to destroy or to banish all of the monsters your opponent controls, non-targeting. On top of that, when this card leaves the field, it allows you to. When this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add a spell, any spell in the game, back to your hand. So 3 pretty good effects. He's better going second than he is going first, but it's definitely a very good option to have. 1 copy of the Dark Magicians. This one gives you just more draw power, more advantage. It does more of what the spells and traps of the deck do. It's just very good at. This deck is very good at accumulating advantage very, very quickly over a number of turns. It's a very good grind game deck. 1 copy of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Obviously, this card we all know what this does. It's very good. It speaks for itself. 1 copy of Ebon Illusion Magician. This one obviously attack, target, pop, special summons. Yeah, Ebon Illusion, very good. And then we play 1 copy of Divine Arsenal Zeus. Sometimes you just summon it over the Ebon, send everything to the graveyard. And that's usually when you put the game in that sort of game state. It's definitely near the end. Next, let me put these link monsters in order. Now let me put these link monsters in order real quick. Alright, so for the link monsters, we play 1 copy of Imduct. This is a very good monster. It's basically a dragon, and on top of it, any card it points to gets destroyed by battle automatically. So It can help you out stuff. One copy of Artemis. Artemis is a light, and you can put rod in the graveyard really quickly. And once you put the rod in you put the rod in the graveyard, and it's a light, so if you can use it for Chaos Master to tribute itself and then banish their entire field. IP Masquerena, Predaplant Verde Anaconda, Nightmare Unicorn, Axis Kotalker, Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax, and the Blackluster Soldier of Chaos. So that is all of the extra deck cards, and now I'm going to show you real quick a couple combos real quick with the deck. The deck actually does have some combos that you can do, and it's always better to show a little bit of what the deck can do. So the deck has a lot of consistency cards, and that's what is really, really good about this new set. It's a lot more consistent than it's ever been. You have essentially five different card starters. You have Soul Servant, which is a starter. You have Preparation of Rites, Illusion of Chaos. There's a Preparation of Rites. Illusion of Chaos is a card starter, is a combo starter. The Magician's Souls and the Magician's Rod. So basically, if you see any combination of these, usually you can do a pretty good combo. Most of the time, you want to somehow get a copy of Magician's Souls and Magician's Rod in your hand, and then you can do this full combo every single time. It's very consistent. Preparations will search the Illusion of Chaos, and Illusion of Chaos will search either one of these. And then this is very good with Magician's Souls, because you can just send a Dark Magician to the graveyard, activate Soul Servant, put this on top of the deck, banish it, and then because you have a Dark Magician in the graveyard, you can basically draw the rod. So it guarantees the combo. So the combination of these is usually pretty good. So I'll show you the combo. Basically, we'll start with one Preparation of Rites, and not that it matters. Yeah, one Preparation of Rites and one copy of Magician's Souls. But basically, no matter what we do, as long as we see any combination of two of those cards, we can do full combo. But I'll show you with this particular situation. I'm going to activate Pre-Preparation of Rites to add a copy of Illusion of Chaos. Now I'm going to activate the Illusion of Chaos, reveal it to our opponent to add a card to our hand. We're going to add the Magician's Souls. I'm sorry, not the Magician's Souls, the Magician's Rod. And then we're going to put the Illusion of Chaos back on the bottom of our deck over here. Next, we're going to activate the Magician's Souls to summon it and send a level 6 or higher spellcaster from our deck, which will be a Dark Magician Girl. So we'll send that to the graveyard. And now we're going to normal summon the Rod. Rod will allow us to search. The Magician's Salvation. We're going to activate the Magician's Salvation. Magician's Salvation will allow us to set an Eternal Soul directly from the deck. Just like that. Now, from here on in, you have a variety of plays that you can do. You can activate the Magician's Souls and just send these to the graveyard and then just draw cards. Basically like a free pot of greed. And then you can just use these two to go into Verde Anaconda. So basically, yeah, we would do this. We would draw 2 cards. For example, I'll just leave them face down just as if we don't know what they are. We're going to draw 2 cards. We're going to link these 2 away and go into the Predaplant Verde Anaconda. Activate that. Send the materials for Dragoon, which is Red Eyes Fusion, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician. We're going to send that stuff to the graveyard. And then we are going to basically summon the Dragoon. So we started with 2 random cards, and we ended on a +2 draw and a Dragoon on board and the Predaplant Verde Anaconda. That's one line of play to do it. Or you can change it up and do a more consistent line of play, which is I'll put these cards back. We'll put the Magician's Rod and Souls back on the field, and I'll put the Eternal Soul and the Magician's Salvation back on the field. So this is what I typically do. I'll leave this on the field. I'll leave this set on the field. I'll just leave it like this. And I'll link these 2 away in order to go into the Verde Anaconda. Activate Verde Anaconda. Then I'll send the Red Ice Fusion, Dark Magician, and Red Ice to the graveyard and summon a Predaplant Verde and summon the Red Ice Dark Dragoon. Now we pass to our opponent's turn. Our opponent does, whatever they have to do. They start their turn, but you can accumulate a lot more resources this way because you can activate, for example, Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul can special summon the Dark Magician. We can activate the effect of Salvation to special summon the Dark Magician Girl. And now we can activate the effect of Rod in the graveyard on the resolution of Magician's Salvation Attributing the Dark Magician in order to special summon, in order to add the rod back to our hand. And just like that, we just keep accumulating free resources. Also, we have the Dragoon negate. Then it goes back to our turn. We always have basically defenses. Every single time we use Eternal Soul, we get to bring back multiple cards. Instead of one card, we get to bring multiple cards. And then we interrupt our opponent. They pass. Obviously, we have Skill Drain, all types of stuff like that in our deck. Skill Drain, Ice Dragon's Prison. They pass their turn. It goes back to our turn. We draw. We can summon, search again. We have like the Magician Girl. We can like link these two away to make, I don't know, like a Blackluster Soldier, activate the effect of Eternal Soul, bring back the Dark Magician, activate the Salvation, bring back the Dark Magician Girl again, and we basically now have game on board, because it just allows us any given time. Every time we special summon the Dark Magician, we just put 45 we have put 4,500 on board every single time. It just makes games that much quicker, accumulates a lot more resources, gives you a lot more link plays. It's definitely a lot better than it was before, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's actually better with Dark Magician Girl than without. But that is the entire deck profile. If you enjoyed it, subscribe, and thank you for watching.